How girls actually want you to text them, plus 3 examples that got me laid. Most guys think texting a girl is simple. They believe texting only has one purpose: set up a date as fast as possible. Everything else feels like a waste of time. But if that were true, why do so many guys get ghosted after the first message? Why do conversations die before they ever turn into real dates? The truth is this: men and women communicate very differently. And if you don't understand how women actually like to text, you can feel like you're doing everything right while still getting ignored. In this video, we'll look at what actually makes texting attractive, along with a few real conversation examples so you can see how it works. Because on dating apps today, texting is often the difference between getting ghosted and getting a real date. Even with a great profile, weak texting can kill the connection. But with strong texting, even an average profile can lead to far more dates. So if you want better results, let's get into it. Move the conversation forward. One of the biggest mistakes guys make is letting the conversation go nowhere. Some men rush things and ask for a date almost immediately before the girl feels comfortable. Others text for weeks about random topics and only ask to meet much later when the momentum is already gone. A good conversation moves forward naturally. If your goal is eventually meeting in person, the conversation should slowly guide itself in that direction. You don't need to force it, but you can introduce the idea in a playful way. Imagine she tells you she enjoys reading. Instead of replying, "Wow, that's cool, I like books too," you could say, "Nice, guess I'll add a bookstore date to my calendar." It's light, playful, and it introduces the idea of meeting without pressure. Now the conversation has direction. Avoid needy texting. Nothing kills attraction faster than needy texting. You see it when someone sends long paragraphs, double texts when there's no reply, or tries to force conversation when the other person is barely responding. Sometimes it's replying instantly every single time. The message this sends is simple: "I'm just waiting for your reply." That energy is easy to feel, even through text. A better approach is matching the other person's energy. If their messages are short, keep yours simple too. If they reply later, that's fine. And most importantly, don't get overly invested in one conversation. When you treat texting casually, you naturally appear more confident. Keep the conversation interesting. Another common mistake is becoming boring. Messages like, "How was your day? What are you doing? How was work?" aren't bad by themselves. But if that's the entire conversation, it quickly becomes predictable. On the other side, trying too hard to be funny can be just as unattractive. Constant pickup lines, forced jokes, or over-the-top messages often feel unnatural. The sweet spot is simple. Be normal, but slightly playful. Ask normal questions, but add a little personality. That small touch is often what keeps the conversation engaging. Keep the tone light and flirty. Sometimes conversations are pleasant, but they feel more like friendly chats than romantic ones. That usually happens when there's no flirting. People on dating apps aren't looking for a text buddy. They're looking for someone they might eventually meet and feel chemistry with. Flirting doesn't need to be aggressive. It just needs to keep the tone light and playful. For example, imagine you discover you both like the same music. She says the bands are really good. Instead of simply agreeing, you might say, "Good taste. Now we know what we'll be listening to on our date." She might reply, "As long as wine is involved." You respond, "I'll bring the wine if you promise to show off those tattoos." Notice how the conversation creates a small image of a future date. Music, wine, and a relaxed atmosphere. That kind of playful flirting keeps things interesting without trying too hard. Online dating can feel frustrating, but texting skill plays a much bigger role than most people realize. You don't need the perfect profile. What matters more is knowing how to keep conversations moving, avoiding needy behavior, keeping things interesting, and adding a bit of natural flirting. When those things come together, conversations start to flow more easily. And that's when matches begin turning into real dates. If you found this helpful, let me ask you something. What's the biggest texting mistake you see people make on dating apps? Let me know in the comments.